What is up, you guys? This is Duke, and I'm here to bring you Black Clover Chapter 45 review, but / discussion video. Because, here we go. There's something I want to dive in about, and I have the page saved right here. I'm probably going to cut the page in so you guys can see what I'm talking about, in the video. But, here's the thing. When it comes to this chapter, Black Clover, from a structural standpoint, it's actually a simple and straightforward chapter. Like, the main thing that happened was Gucci, he jumps into the battle and tries to take on Sally and Barrow by himself, and then Aster jumps in and saves him, and then something happens to where Aster's magic blade just suddenly pops out of his grimoire without him summoning it, and then he sends like a light wave. Well, when I say it's a light wave, yeah, because it's basically reflecting light, so he's basically sending out a light wave. So and then Gucci he teams up with Aster, and he unleashes his trump card. And what I found about that part specifically is that apparently he completely rearranged his magic theory. So that's mainly what the discussion is going to be about later in this video. But anywho, and then we had a bit of characterization, and / character development for Gucci himself, because this chapter was basically focusing predominantly on him and the battle with him, Aster versus and the Crimson Panther versus Sally and Barrow. So that's basically the chapter in a nutshell. So, but anywho, moving on. So Gucci, so basically, when it comes to Gucci's development as a character, basically he jumps into the battle and stuff like that, and he's like, yo, I want Mary to think I'm cool again and stuff like that. So he jumps in, he uses his real double, and then they use a double reflector flame, but then it proved ineffective against Sally and Barrow. So then Gucci was pushed back, his real double began to was completely defeated, and Aster jumps in to save him, and then Aster starts talking about, yo, we're partners and stuff like that, we should have each other's back and stuff like that. That sounds like a good plan to me and everything. So, you know, Aster being Aster. And then Gucci, he's like, yo, this dude is a complete buffoon, he's a complete fool, but I remember meeting another fool. And then we go into a flashback of Gucci back in his prison days after he escaped from prison, and you see Yami looking all beastly. Oh my god. And you see him looking all beastly, and Yami tells Gucci that, yo, how about you come work for me and stuff like that. And Gucci's like, are you crazy? I'm an escapee. And he's like, yeah, you have something that's precious to you that you want to protect, right? And i.e. Mary. And then he's like, all right, then just come work for me so you can protect what's precious to you, and one day that'll lead you on to protect something else that's precious to you either. And then Gucci, he basically tells Aster and them that he'll protect them. And then Aster, he starts talking and stuff like that, saying, yeah, what are you talking about, man? You know, we're comrades and everything. Yeah, you know, the usual Aster type of thing, the usual like generic main character talk. You know, Nakama. I'm not trying to be racist or anything. Sorry. But anywho, when it comes to, and then like you see Aster's sword, which I found fascinating, and I really hope we dive into it soon, because and Aster, he found it weird at first, weird as well, because he's like, yo, this is just the exact same thing that happened. And like his sword literally just, his second anti-magic blade, to be more specific, literally just popped out of his grimoire without him summoning it or anything, and it began glowing just like it did during the dungeon exploration arc, where and basically he sends out a light wave, which I assume he took magic from Gucci. So here's the thing, I'm starting to wonder, does Aster's grimoire subconsciously takes magic, like absorbs the magic of the nearest person, of the nearest person around them. Like, does it absorb the magical energy, the mana, of the nearest person around them? I do. That's my theory on that. But I do find that fascinating. I really do. But anywho, moving on. So then Aster sends out a wave of light, and it slashes through Borrow, but then Borrow just regenerating, and then Gucci realizes, yo, like, he keeps regenerating and stuff like that. So maybe if I use my trump card, and then we go into something that I found really fascinating. So let me read this to you verbatim. Basically, Gucci, he's thinking to himself, wait, I've always used my mirror magic, made a double of myself using my mirror magic. So what if I use that on somebody else? And it says this, the narration: because he was always alone and never trusted anybody, the thought of using his magic on someone else never occurred to him. But with all the recent failures and an uncharacteristic acknowledgement for Aster, he began a speedy process of changing his magic theory. As a result, he created a new spell that was fundamentally similar but completely different. A new page was added to his grimoire. So basically, that's like set in stone, like the power system of Black Clover. Let me just go further into detail. Let me get out of this freaking page right here. So basically, here's basically my thoughts on this whole magic theory thing. So the magic theory, I guess it's basically when it comes to from what I can decipher from Gucci's case, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, glasses off, changed. But what I can decipher from Gucci's narration and stuff like that, I think the magic theory thing is good, but at the same time shaky, because it's like we're going further into depth of how the characters develop new spells and stuff like that. So the good part of it actually helps develop the characters. Like this whole narration system and how Tabayuki handles it and stuff like that, it actually helps develop the characters. It really does. I cannot deny that. There's also like and like basically it takes from the characters' experience and stuff like that. We learned that during the first arc. Like as a magic user goes into battle more and stuff like that, as they like experience, like gain more experience in their travels, like what they're doing and stuff like that, they begin to learn they begin to develop and learn new spells. So basically, what Tabayuki, from what I'm seeing, is trying to do, he's coinciding the spell power-ups, I guess, like the power-ups, along with the development of that person's character. So I do give it a plus for the character, for more character development. But when it comes to, but I do feel it's shaky, because I can see this also like could possibly, if Tabayuki like doesn't handle it too well, because this seems like something he needs to handle very well for him to pull off this system he created. But I can also see it go being can easily like break, because this, like, I can see in the future possibly if something happens, like where, like, let's say an opponent is so goddamn powerful, none of the characters can beat, and then somehow they develop a new spell to where they can literally just one-shot this opponent. Like freaking you already know how I feel about Black Clover, because Black Clover, it's a series that does have a lot of potential, but at the same time, it's I could see it going, like, I'm scared for it to go the fairy tale route, because it does have a lot of that varied that traits too. But anywho, overall, I think the system so far is so good. The way he handled it out with Yuno, that was actually, I wouldn't say that was that is experience, because when it came to Yuno, he not only did it like just do it specifically for Yuno, like he did for Noelle and Gucci. When it came to the whole Yuno thing, like with the magic theory and stuff like that, or, well, when he got his power up, when he awakened spirit magic, when it came to Yuno, he actually opened up a brand new branch, not just for Yuno, but for all wind users as well, for all sensory type magic users as well. That's what Tabata Yuki did with that. He actually opened up a whole new spectrum, because he actually said when it's sensory wind type magic users specialize in sensory, and when all their senses are pushed to their very limit, they awaken a new sense. So he actually didn't just cornerstone that for Yuno. He actually awakened it for all wind magic users. So that's actually really good. That was actually really good. I'd say that was the best one that was handled. But when it comes to this character specifically, when it came to Yuno and when it comes to Gucci, basically, the way he did it with Gucci, basically, I did find it very interesting. I really did. So, anywho, overall, I thought this chapter was a good chapter of Black Clover. Really, it was simple and straightforward. We basically got to the point we need to get, and yeah. But anywho, I'll see you guys later for the next chapter review of Black Clover, chapter 46. And be sure to like the video, comment, and subscribe. And I'm Duke. Have a good day.